calling all adulting adults. You're tuning into the Grown-Up Podcast, a show I created to talk about the struggles of the new millennium and share different perspectives in order to make sense of being a grown-up. Along the way, I search for independent music, businesses, and individuals who make a way for themselves in the content creating industry via podcasts, books, blogs, vlogs, and more to show that we should support each other's ideas instead of tear them down. Tune into the podcast monthly, and don't forget to follow me to stay up on new artists, new adventures, oh yeah, and more grown-up shit. Now, let's get to the episode.
You just turned on. You just turned on. Natural on the way. Natural on the way. Better known as. Now. This is where independence is celebrated. So if you're ready to catch these waves, then let's go. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another Grown-Up Podcast episode and another Naturally on a Wave independent music interview. And we have a brand new artist joining us today, all the way from Florida. Oh man, I'm getting on the map. You know what I'm saying? We in the States, we in the countries. You know, we live with the independent music. So I'm definitely happy to have another artist come and join me and celebrate their independent journey. So we're gonna welcome him. He's going to say his name, where he's from, and the type of genre that he does. So please welcome.
Yeah, it's R.O.N.F Deezle, you know, hailing from Pensacola, Florida.
Yes, sir.
My style is rap. You know, I like to say R&B, but I can't sing. I just got the influences and everything. So, yeah, man. But more than that, I'm hip hop. You know, I was influenced by the OGs, Biggie, Pac, you know, Rakim. So that's what I kind of gravitate to. I like lyrics. And I like putting, you know, real good energy and, you know, actual content, quality content in my music. So I would say more of a hip hop artist than anything.
Okay. Dope. All right. So that kind of leads me to the first question is, how did you really get started on your independent music journey?
Man, I started rapping or really trying to, you know, do music when I was like, I say closer to 15. And in all reality, man, I wanted to be a singer. You know?
No way.
Yeah, man. I was real heavy, like in Jodeci and Drew Hill and Bill Withers.
Wow.
Was a real big influence of mine. So like I started out trying to sing Bill Withers songs, but I got like a natural affinity for it, but I just ain't got that voice. So I gravitated towards the hip hop and rapping and really, you know, I found a group of other younger gentlemen who kind of took me in and they kind of showed me a little bit more about that side of rap and doing ciphers and freestyling. And that's where I got into it. And
you got in the trenches with it. Okay. Right. All right. I see you. Okay. So let's go with your stage name. Let's switch real quick. So let's talk about your stage name. Is there a story behind it? Do the acronyms mean something? You know, let us in on that.
Yeah, R.O.N.F, it stands for Real Ones Never Fold.
Word.
Yeah,
there we go.
That was it was a process getting to that because originally it was me and one other of my homeboys who had it. Me and my homeboy kind of fell off, and I just wanted to keep going with the R.O.N.F because I like what it stood for. I like the Real Ones Never Fold, and it was kind of like, I don't want to say making fun of like this generation with the YBNs and the NBA and everything because them boys doing their thing, but it unexpectedly people gravitated to it because of that, and they were like, okay, so you got that extra letter, what the hell? But in all reality, it's almost like it's a statement, you know, to myself. It's Real Ones Never Fold Deezle. So that's something I keep in the back of my mind with every song I make, every time I perform.
That's dope. Okay. So we're talking about you getting into rap. First, you kind of was wanting to sing a little bit. So your rapping definitely comes from your mental and your heart, from what I could hear. So what place do you go when you're writing and then taking that into the studio?
Man, I really go into like my younger self when I do my writing. Like I get into that mode of when I was younger. I had a lot of insecurities about my image, about, you know, where I was in life, especially between like the age of like, you know, 15 to 20. You know, I didn't have no pops. My mom wasn't too much of a mom.
Yeah. And,
you know, I got 2 older brothers, 3 younger sisters, but I don't have a relationship with them like that, especially back then. And, you know, I was a grandma's boy. So I was, you know, watching guys like Biggie come up. You know, I was like, bro, this big black dude, you know, like, in there smooth, pulling ladies. I was like, man, like, I want that. And, you know, I just remember that hunger, that feeling of wanting to have women, have money, but in all reality the underlying emotion I was feeling was just, I just want to feel wanted and I want to feel accepted.
Right,
and really, I
right.
want to express myself.
Yeah, I feel that. So you kind of were talking about like what type of artists have inspired you already a little bit earlier. So how do these artists play a role in, you know, your creative and unique flow that you have going for yourself now? Right.
Honestly, biggest influence of mine, and people will say it's cliche, is Biggie, you know.
Yeah.
I just gravitated to Biggie when I heard like his tracks. He's got a track with Method Man called The What. And man, just hearing their energy and their flow on that, man, like, I mean, I can tell you, I bumped. I started listening to Ready to Die in my grandmother's like 2011 Camry on the, like, while she was dropping me off at a friend's house, and like this was not the clean version.
Yeah.
I started like, who the fuck is this? 6 in the morning. Yeah. My grandmother like looked at me. She was like, Matthew, what are you saying? And I was like, dang, grandma, that's just what I like.
Yeah, word. Yeah.
That type of reaction, you know, like, fueled me even more. I'm like, dog, like,
right.
People don't like it, but at the same time, it's like, what?
Exactly.
And it just fueled me just to like, okay, I want that reaction. I want people to think about my music, think about me in that light.
Okay. That's dope. So you've been releasing music officially, at least from your Spotify, since 2020. So did COVID play a role in like the release of your music during that time? And how did you think it was going to turn out once you actually did put your projects out?
COVID, man, that just gave me like a lot of time to myself to really like reflect on the type of art I want to push out there, the type of tracks, the type of energy I want to push out there. Yeah. And it gave me time to write, you know, even though I was working all up through most of COVID, you know, I was working as like a server / houseman, busboy.
Yeah, as we all were.
Yeah. And my aim with each project, bro, was just to get better. Call Me Crazy was, you know, what I felt people were like saying behind my back, or even some people to my face, you know, they were calling me crazy. You know, my own family was sitting there like, you trying to be a rapper?
Right.
And it's like, at the end of the day, man, like, I don't even really call myself a rapper. I call myself an MC, a master of something, because I got a true love for rap, like, that just transcends all boundaries, all ages, colors, it don't matter, man. I got appreciation for all types of artists, but through rap, I really got an appreciation for all music, and that's including rock, country, death metal. Like, I don't knock it. I don't knock any for music because of what I've been doing with rap. Yeah. To get back a little bit more back on subject, with Call Me Crazy, I wanted to express myself. I wanted people be like, you calling me crazy? Right. I'm gonna show you crazy. Yeah. And I got out there and I put that out there, and people really like surprised me with the feedback and the fact people were fucking with it. And that just pushed me to just keep doing it. And then I followed next year with Brighter Days, and that was during a time when I was really down on myself and, you know, not sure if I wanted to continue rapping or continue doing anything with music. And that's where all those 8 tracks come from. That was a little more me of refining my sound, refining who I am, and really showing people what I want to be portrayed as and what I'm really about as far as my music and who I am.
Right. Okay. All right. So that kind of leads into the next question, where we're going to talk about the latest album that you got out that just got released this year. So let's talk about how that process was, how putting the tracks together was, and what kind of were you going through mentally? Because it seemed like, again, another album that you're putting your heart, you know, and your thoughts out onto.
Yeah. First off, big shout out to my dog Wyatt Coleman, because he produced every track on there. All those beats are his. He did most of the engineering for it.
Shout out.
And you know, I met him through basically social media. Even though we live in the same town,
right.
I reached out to him about a feature on Brighter Days called "Hate Me." And I never met the cat before that, and just stemming from that feature with "Hate Me," we just gravitated toward each other. And I believe it was about late 2020 where he finally showed me some of his beats, and I was like, "Oh, dog, what are these? Where did these come?" And I was just like, "Man, you gotta send me a pack." And and from there I just started, you know, I did a track or 2 on some of his, and then we just started talking about it, and I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to do a project, you know, where it's executive produced. And we just started working late 2021 we started working on that and getting those crispy. And man, it was just a beautiful process with that. Even though it's only 7 tracks, man, like those 7 tracks, like I really put my pieces of my heart on each of those tracks.
I most definitely can hear that for sure.
A lot of my insecurities, a lot of my, you know, confidence is expressed on those tracks. But some of them were very hard to drop. You know, some of them I was very unsure about, like God's Child. That was about my struggle with my faith, you know, and even to this day, I still struggle with, you know, feeling close to God, feeling like I'm a good person. Yeah. And that's what that song was about. And like with this project, I just feel fully mature as an artist, because each track has a set tone, it has a set message that you can feel. I know people. Yeah. And that's what I was aiming for, man.
That's dope. And you hit the mark. You hit the mark for sure. You did it for sure. Yeah. I fucks with the album. It's dope. I was playing it before, you know, we hopped on this. So, you know what I'm saying? I fucks with it for sure. You did your thing. Yeah, for sure. So you kind of already talked about you collaborating with the producer you just mentioned. So that leads me to my next question. How much does collaborating mean to you, not only with artists, but producers as well?
Oh man, that's the reason I personally do music. You know, I'm pretty shy, I'm pretty awkward, I'm not too sociable in my regular life, dude. I'm real quiet unless you get to know me. So, and that was another reason I started doing music, was to put myself out there in that way. So collaborating with producers, artists, that's why I do it, bro. Like that's why we make music as people, bro, is to connect with other people. So it's like, man, I don't care about people paying me for features. If I ever get to that point, unless I'm like signed or something, or I'm making millions of dollars, that's one thing. Until I get to that point, I don't. Somebody hit my line talking about a collaboration, we gonna collaborate. Word. I take a minute, but and that's why I do it, man. I mean, and I learned that it's affirmation with, you know, songs like "Hate Me" or the other collaborations I've done where they just come out and they're bangers, man. And even if some of them are not bangers, it's just the whole experience of making the songs and being like, I did that with that person. We got a relationship now.
Yeah, that's why I love doing this whole segment that I have with the Natural on the Wave. The Now thing is collaborating with artists, getting to hear you guys' stories, and collaborating with other people just on the podcast as well. It's really eye-opening to connect with other people, to understand another person's story, to understand their struggle and what they go through, because at the end of the day, we all basically kind of go through the same shit. You know what I mean? It's just in a different fashion, different environment, all of that, plays a factor, but we still connected, you know what I'm saying? So I feel you about collaborating, because it definitely can bring the kind of inner part out, you know what I mean? And I'm the same way. I can be social, but I choose to just be quiet when I go out in public, and podcast allows me to have that type of outlet to, express myself. So I can feel where you're coming from. So, do you have any other talents or hobbies that you dabble in as well that, maybe the just a little sneak of what the audience might not know about you?
Man, I used to be able to play harmonica.
Used to be harmonica. Wait.
Yeah. Because my grandfather, man, he always wanted to play harmonica.
Oh, dope.
And I actually have one of his old harmonicas, but he was never like any good.
That's dope.
And we have like one of his like army buddies was almost like a country music star. He taught me a little bit of guitar. I'm not like super good. I can't shred up, a guitar.
A couple strings are good.
I know a couple strings, but I'm rusty as hell because I ain't done it in years. Because I've been focusing more on my rap and everything. Right. Man, other than that, man. I'm a cook. I'm good at cooking,
Hey, that's still something. That's something too. Right. You don't hear a lot of people saying they're good at cooking. That's lit though.
I throw something up in the kitchen real quick, bro.
Okay, y'all heard the man. He cooks it up, right?
Some of my special chicken, man.
Oh, he got special chicken. It's not just chicken, y'all. It's special.
Oh no, bro. It's the sauce I put on it, dog. I can't.
Not the sauce. All right.
Give you the recipe.
You can't give it to me like write it down, but you can cook it up. You feel me? And then all right, it's up. All right, bet for sure. Okay, so on to the next question here. You have music on Spotify and YouTube. How has the process been for you as an independent artist, figuring out how to upload your music and promoting it as well?
Shout out to DistroKid, man, because before I found DistroKid, man, I was like just uploading to YouTube, uploading to SoundCloud, the free platforms.
Yeah.
And like people were fucking with it, but it just, there was that issue of the availability, the ease of availability, because everybody has a phone, everybody... In this day and age, it has to be something easy to connect with. Mm-hmm. And that's the issue I was having, especially when I actually dropped Call Me Crazy. I only dropped it on YouTube and SoundCloud. And I found DistroKid. I heard so much about it. And I was like, man, I got to go ahead and just do that and push it out. And DistroKid got me right, a couple singles and 3 projects later, I'm still fucking with them.
I feel it.
Pushing it out, but it's a whole process, man. Especially with promotion, because like I said, I'm a very kind of antisocial, very quiet, shy person, and it's hard for me to do these promotional videos, especially when it comes to like TikTok or these boomerangs, man.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like I got ideas all the time, but it's also hard to find the time to do that and, find the quality equipment to do all that. But it's just a process I've had to come along with each project.
Most definitely.
It's especially being any type of artist, you have to have this image you want to portray to people.
Yeah.
People who just listen to music and don't understand it, they might not be able to comprehend what it actually is. They might think it's fake, like you're putting on a persona for who you really are. But no, man, people don't want to necessarily see you, your flaws. They want to see you being good, and top notch at all times.
Yeah.
And part of the And that's something like, I'm still working on, but I feel we all got to work on.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm in like the same realm with how to figure out how to promote the podcast, because I'm not the type of person with the boomerangs and in front of that's why I do podcasts and it's audio, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even though I do these interviews, it's still only just like 2% of video, you know what I mean? And so trying to come up with how to market on social media, and TikTok is out now, he says the biggest one. And I'm like, dang, I got to get to video soon. People, audio is going, I don't know, but we gonna figure it out.
Yeah, it's crazy because like multiple artists, like my homie Wyatt Coleman, dude, he is a genius when it comes to marketing, and he tells me all the time, TikTok. Yep. That's how you gonna pop off, man.
Yeah. That's what I've been hearing too. I'm like, me and you, we on the same. I'm like, I can't.
What do we do?
Exactly.
What's my little niche I'm gonna put on TikTok?
Exactly.
But I have some ideas. For me, I love delving into the history of rap.
Okay.
I like breaking stuff down. So I have little ideas like me per se. What is it like? Me breaking down famous verses, like bar by bar, or really like showing people what a bar is, or what an ad lib is.
Right.
Is, because I feel even though rap is like one of the most popular genres right now, people don't really have a respect for it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel that.
Especially with a lot of these new wave rappers, man, and they just it's a lot of gang stuff, it's a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of sick. And don't get me wrong, I know that's a part of hip hop, I know it's a part of rap and black culture, but that's not the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and we definitely need other people out there saying that it's not. You know what I mean? And showing the part that what it is, you know what I'm saying? The truth. So yeah, the world needs us at the end of the day. On to the next question here. So what kinds of challenges have you had to face so far on your independent journey, and what or who have helped you through them?
Man, the challenges, dog, it's the what how can I put this? It's the I guess the exposure, and it's like the underlying hate, because it just in these last like 2 years, even though I've been doing this over 10 years, I've really seen it in my city where people, even other artists who are at the same level as you, who ain't like doing millions on Spotify,
right?
They're in that state of mind of, okay, what can you do for me? What can me collaborating with you? How can that help my career?
Exactly.
And in my mind, bro, like I said, dude, I'm not on that. I'm not aiming to get millions of plays, aiming to get a deal off my music. Like I'm aiming to make good music and put some goodness out there.
Right.
And that's one of the hardest things I've had to come to terms with. Like I've just had to like disconnect with people that, I did collab with, because on another tip that it's just like, bro, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel you.
Good music. I mean, if it comes to that point where, our energy ain't meshing like that, okay, but that's if it comes to that point.
Yeah, I think we're like having some type of shift in the air to where it's really like every person's fighting for themselves type of thing. And it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of why I have this segment of supporting independent artists and supporting independent people in general, because we have to support each other. We have to support ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a village, and we are the village. We are the people to turn to your neighbor and literally help them. You know what I mean? Like that's all you got to do. And like recently I've only started getting like a couple artists that are like, so how much do I have to pay for this or whatever? And I'm like, nah, it's nothing. This is free. Like I'm independent. You're independent. Let's help each other. That's all this is. It's love, it's vibes, it's supporting each other, and all of that. We have to get out of that mentality of just every person for themselves. Like it's really not. You know what I mean? We can support each other and we can uplift each other while also being on our own movement and doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you put that out there for sure. So what, as we're kind of wrapping this up a little bit, what motivates you on this journey, and what advice do you have for people wanting to do independent music?
Man, my motivation, man, is to show the younger generation, the people who might come after me, whether I blow or not, bro, whether I'm just always gonna be a local rapper. Bro, I just want to show them it's possible, man, and just keep grinding, keep doing your thing, and do it for you.
Definitely.
You know, and a big motivation for me, man, is, you know, my friends and even people who don't really know me telling me, like, dang, yo, I can hear your evolution. I can hear you getting better. And it's like, I just want to change people's perception of rap.
Yeah.
Especially in my city, because I'm from Pensacola, Florida. We're not no big city, man. We got some big names that came out of here, like Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
But nothing big as far as rap.
Right.
And whether it's me who comes out of the city like that, or another artist in my city who comes out and puts like my city on the map in that regard, I'm still gonna support it.
Yeah, you know, most definitely.
Ain't no hate in my blood when it comes to music. And as far as advice to any artists here, locally, you know, future, in the past, just keep grinding, man. Stick to your guns, man. Like, definitely. And just keep it real, man. Like,
yeah, I agree. 1,000%.
People are gonna appreciate that real you more than they appreciate what you're trying to perceive to them.
Facts. 1,000%.
All that shit's gonna come to light, especially if you blow up, man. You're gonna have media and everything on you, like, so people are gonna see whether you're keeping it real or not. So just keep it real. Stay consistent, man.
Yeah. That's kind of like along the lines of what my dad told me when I first started this podcast. Like, he was listening to a couple episodes. He was like, it sounds like you're holding back a bit. You know, you have to be honest. You have to be real. You have to put the truth in of what you actually want the podcast to look like. You know what I mean? And if this is actually your passion, you got to show that. You know, you got to be real and be passionate about this. And like, ever since then, that's when people been like, oh, I've been listening. And that's what you got to do. You got to grind, you got to stick to it, and you got to be true to yourself for sure. So thank you for those words, most definitely. So last question here before I throw a little surprise in. What are some goals you have on your list this year, or I guess kind of ending this year and maybe going into the next year for your music?
As far as my music, man, I really want to do more shows. I don't necessarily care about getting paid for them. I just want to do more shows. I want to get out there. I want to get my live performance chops up a little bit, you know, because all that can transition and really accumulate into your actual music and what you're putting out there. Right. Big thing for me is just, you know, get my music in front of more people.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big thing for me. And of course, release more music, you know. I'm actually already preparing to start working on my next project that I'm planning to release on my birthday next year.
There we go. All right. Well, y'all heard the man. So, you know, all the links and stuff will be in the description. So make sure that you keep up with him, follow him, all of that, okay? And look out for the new music. All right, y'all. So we got this little special I'm gonna throw you in. It's called the hot seat. Okay, every artist gotta get in the hot seat when they come to the Grown Up Podcast. All right, it's 4 quick questions, and just run the first answer that comes out the top of the dome. All right. So, favorite artist?
Currently, Big Crit.
Okay. Now this one's gonna be a little tricky. Favorite song currently? I know that was your favorite artist, so what's your favorite song now?
Oh, currently, man, I would have to say Doghouse by Isaiah Rashad featuring Ray-Vaughn from TDE.
Okay. And if y'all don't know what that song is, you better go and look it up after this, okay? All right, so favorite food?
I'll probably have to say jasmine rice.
Okay. That wasn't what I was.
I'm a rice fiend, bro. I love rice. I eat it.
Okay. That's interesting for sure. All right, so last question here. Favorite memory of your independent journey so far?
Favorite memory was probably my aunt texting me when I dropped Call Me Crazy and I dropped my video for Focus. And because she had always mentioned like me doing music, but she mentioned it and said, "Baby boy, you look good." And I really liked the song. And the next time I saw her, like, was actually accidental. She had Focus playing in her car. Wow. And I don't think she like did that on purpose, because I just popped up and she pulled up, or I pulled up as she was like pulling up. And opened up the door and she had Focus playing, and I was like, "Dang, auntie, I appreciate it."
Hit you in the chest right there. All right, I feel you. That's definitely a memory that'll stick out and stay with you forever. So I thank you so much. Appreciate you for coming here on the podcast, and we gonna wrap it up right here. You got any final words that you want to tell the audience? Any personal shout outs you want to give? And of course, please let us know your social medias and what streaming platforms you have, even though it's going to be in the description. We got to do it for the audio listeners.
Right. And big shout out to Fresco Recording Services of Pensacola, Florida. That's one of my exclusive engineers. He's been riding with me since Call Me Crazy. If I had never met him, I probably wouldn't be dropping the type of music and the quality of music I am right now, because he just, that man is a legend. For real. Shout out to his beautiful wife, Joanna Rouge. She set me up with this whole Zoom meeting.
Look at that.
Shout out to my dog, Wyatt Coleman. He already knows nothing but up, because he taught me a whole lot about the actual business side and promotional side of the music. Man, there's so many people I want to shout out. They're getting all jumbled and stuff. Shout out to Spillatry, the mouthpiece. It's always loved. That's a beautiful woman, beautiful poet. Y'all should go check her and my song out, Shadows. Got the video on YouTube. Man, other than that, man, y'all go check me out on Spotify, all streaming platforms, Audius, Tidal, SoundCloud, YouTube. My YouTube with all my videos is going to be at RONF.TV1. Check that out. And if you're looking me up on Spotify or anything like that, they're very particular with my name. They make me mad a lot. R.O.N.F Deezle.
For sure. All right. Well, y'all heard the mans. Okay, you heard all the links and everything, and that's all gonna be in the description. So y'all please go and click those links, check him out, stream the music that he's got out now, and then of course keep up with him so that you can check out his new music that he got coming in the future. Okay. Appreciate you again for stopping by on the podcast, and we most definitely gonna keep supporting you. And we're gonna have you back here.
Yeah, most def, man.
There we go.
I was expecting you to ask me to hit a freestyle, dude.
Okay, we're gonna hit that up for the next one. You know what I'm saying? We only got a little bit of time for the first one, because just to introduce you, to the world. But it's up for the second one. We gonna throw in a couple tricks and you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it nice for the second one for sure.
If you're a real artist, if you're a real rapper, you can hit a freestyle.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Oh, we gonna get lit for the second. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, okay? Because you ain't heard the last of this man, okay? Y'all heard it. We got the special coming for the next one. All right, so y'all check out the links. Stay tuned, and we appreciate you again for joining us, and we're gonna have you back. So keep working, keep grinding. We appreciate you, and we supporting you. All right. Everyone else, stay safe, be kind, and we out. National on the Wave, Grown Up Podcast.
All right, big dog.